Thank you so much and welcome back. It's always lovely to connect with you. You guys, this is the channel. We've got it all: mental health, movement, motivation. If you're loving what I'm doing, definitely do subscribe and share the news of the channel. You know, every once in a while, I will definitely interrupt my normal schedule of posting and my normal routine of life because a note will come through that just literally sends me through the roof. And this happened last night. So, hence the title of this video: Selfish and Manipulative People, Why They Can Never Be Wrong. They can never be wrong. I could have also titled it The Gaslighters Universe. I received a note that really, because I've worked with these type of people so long, I know the games, and my heart goes out, my heart and soul go out to the people who just beautiful, lovely souls trying to do the best they can in life, and they just haven't figured out how these individuals work. So let's just get right to the content. Selfish and manipulative people with a capital S and a capital M. Why they can never be wrong. This video could be very transformative if you simply allow yourself to lean into the content. This is really coming from my soul today because these people really just burn my butt for a variety of reasons. So I get a letter from a very distressed mom, single hardworking mom, and she says to me, Sheila, it's not uncommon for me to switch days with my ex. Sometimes he will watch our child, if I have to work or vice versa. We've at least gotten that far since the divorce. So I ask him, look, I have to work. Can you please watch our son? He says, okay, I had something planned, but no problem. Drop him off at this particular time. Fast forward, long story short, the child's father, her ex, is also has a new girlfriend. He's busy entertaining his girlfriend, and this minor child who is under the age of 10 gets out into the pool, nearly drowns, while dad is kind of kicked up with the girlfriend, completely, totally, utterly distracted. Thank you, God, that they got to this child in time. There was a medical issue, but it resolved, and the child is fine now, back home with mom. So we appreciate that. That's not the crux of this. The thing that really sent me through the roof is when I get to the part of the letter that says, Sheila, he agreed to watch our child. I wasn't even there. And somehow, after my conversation with him, I'm feeling bad. He tells me, I told you I had something to do, yet you brought our son anyway, and you need to take a second look at yourself as a mom. This wasn't even supposed to be my weekend. Okay. Check the boxes A, B, C, and D. What is wrong with that response? Every single thing is wrong with that response. And my heart really goes out to this woman because when I tell you that, at least it came off to me that way, complete and total distress, because this person is a professional manipulator and literally gaslit her. You weren't even there. I know you're going to watch this video, and what I'm saying to you, you weren't even there. That is his father. He was completely, utterly, totally responsible for this child's health and well-being. And here you are falling apart, nearly in a fetal position, because this man he's masterful at manipulating your emotions, probably the reasons you're no longer together. And you literally have a question mark behind whether or not it's your fault For the love of Jesus, you're at work. It's not like you were out partying. You're at work, an unexpected shift. You're trying to put food on the table for you and your son. So let me clear this up for you, as well as for anyone else who is navigating the emotional thick forest jungle with weeds and tarantulas and snakes of these people who are just utterly manipulative. This is the bottom line. This is the bottom line. They can never be wrong. Understand me and take this one to the bank. A person who's truly selfish and manipulative at their core, we all have some selfish tendencies, even if they're just little itty bitty tiny things. But a person who is this at their very core and has no interest whatsoever in changing or dealing with this or addressing it, the reason they can never be wrong is because their reality is structured in a way, it's very different than the reality that I've put in place or you've put in place. The inward, the inner reality that they have structured is so essential to their daily functioning and their well-being that nearly everyone in their life revolves around that orbit. They don't come out of their orbit to revolve around you and to tend to your needs, and even more than that, in the highest order, to be fair. Fairness, reason, rationality, it just doesn't come into play. So, what I want to say to you is this: they naturally and easily gaslight. And for those of you who don't know what gaslight means, it means that when someone has the ability, you know what the truth is in your core soul, but in your face, they are telling you it's not true. They are manipulating and lying about reality in your face. And if someone has an exquisite level of skill in this area of gaslighting, they can be so good at it that a child that they're supposed to be caring for nearly drowns in their care. And they can have someone else thinking, oh my goodness, I was there and I pushed them in the pool. And they were at work on second shift doing what they needed to do. This is really the true insidious nature of these people. And if you don't understand, you will be a pawn. You will be a puppet. I've dealt with this in my life. And I'm telling you, it was at a time God bless me. I didn't have I just didn't know what I was dealing with. I was a fish out of water. This can happen, guys. When we know better, we do better. But I cannot stress it enough. An enormous amount of energy, not even an enormous, it's nearly all of their life energy goes into maintaining the reality of the structure that they've built for themselves. So what do I mean by that? For a selfish and manipulative person, do you honestly think when they have constructed a character, or let's say a caricature of themselves in their mind, because it really doesn't reflect reality, they may say, I am a loving, I am a giving, I am an upstanding citizen. This is the caricature that they build. So anything contrary to that, any information coming in contrary to that, they do not open the door, the gateway, pathway, and door and say, you know what? Maybe this person has something here. A person who was loving and giving and a responsible parent doesn't nearly, because they're kicked up with their girlfriend, let their child drown. Or a person who is generous and fair doesn't steal money. Or a person who is kind and warm doesn't raise their hand to hit someone that they love, that they're supposed to be in a loving relationship with. So, one of the things that you have to fundamentally understand is that unless the information coming in is complementary and in total agreement with the caricature of themselves that they've built in their mind, it will not penetrate. But here's the nuance, here's the caveat. What they will do is start to manipulate and rearrange external realities to the extent that they can. They will manipulate and rearrange external realities and hope to God that you believe them so they can maintain this character and these false set of emotions, feelings that they've generated to keep them running smoothly on the track. And one of the things I've talked to people about in great detail over the years is the danger of empowering these people who are selfish and manipulative, and people stand by and wonder, how do they get away with this stuff? Like, how do they keep people who are around them off center? People who are around them are questioning who they are, what they are. They do that because there are people who enable that. They hand out, it's like, imagine a Hollywood movie. They hand out scripts and assignments, and they love to put people in place who will essentially play their part. You're playing the part on a stage of a manipulator. And so these are the people who run around. Oh yeah, I caught you in bed with someone else, but yeah, you're right. You're right. That really wasn't. You had a little bit too much to drink, and I'm matter of fact. Now that you're talking about it, I'm really not sure. Did I see you when I walk into the room? Yeah, you're right. That was your brother. And this is how they're enabled, because they will gaslight you to the point where you are literally questioning your own reality. And the reason they do it is because if their reality that they've built, if it caves in and if it falls apart, they cannot function. Let me repeat that again. The reason why they can never be wrong, you'll rarely hear a person who's selfish and manipulative, you'll rarely see them come to the table and say, I am sorry. I thought about what you said. You got me. I need to do some work on myself, or I'm taking a second look. I am sorry. Can we work this? It's a very rare occurrence. So there's a celestial, or let's say, I think it's called a blood wolf moon. I may be mixing up the words, but it happens, like, I think every 18 years. This is how rare of an occurrence this is for a selfish and manipulative person to take responsibility. They don't do it because it challenges the very foundation of lies and manipulation that they stand on to keep themselves upright. And it's just so important to realize that and to not play the game. I knew a woman very much falls into the category of selfish manipulator. And I told her, I said, listen, I was working with her in counseling. And I said, look, this is the bottom line. Your husband is really getting tired of you. You won't take any responsibility or accountability. My professional opinion is you really need to start preparing for a transition. What do you mean, transition? What I'm saying is, unless something changes, he's going to leave you. Uh, Again, that was contradictory to the reality she had created, didn't believe what I was telling her. A couple months later, he left. I literally watched some her world just imploded. She did not have him as an enabler. She was finally, in a long trail of gaslighting and being selfish and having her way, she was literally left standing in a room alone with a mirror. She had to put that mirror up to her face, and she could not do it. And what do you think happened next? It was everyone's fault. She lashed out at him. She lashed out at her children. She even lashed out at me. Even lashed out at me. And I'm coming from a perspective of trying to help and support you. This is what these people do. They find a way, any portal, any pathway. It can never be my fault, so it has got to be your fault. And when you sit there and you play those games and you question yourself, that is a form of degradation for your life and self abuse. That's what this platform is all about. I talk to you constantly about the responsibility to lift up your life. Now, I know everyone, we all have issues, we all have problems. I understand that, and we fall in love with these people, we get intertwined oftentimes with these selfish and manipulative people. If you choose to stay in that, and for you may have your own reasons. I'm not the judge and jury. You may have your own reasons, and I'm sure they're valid for you. Then you're going to have to decide if you're going to take this path of life and be gaslit and manipulated. And I can tell you, if you decide, you know what, I'm not going to enter your delusional state, there will be pushback. One of the things that we learned in school, rule number one, when you're healthy, when you're taking this walk, and particularly when you're doing this work that I do, rule number one, you don't join the delusion. There's an episode of The Twilight Zone where this man, he falls over into this wall, and he's literally in another dimension. Space and time, the rules just do not apply. He's floating, he's hitting walls, like the rules are out the door. And that's what happens when you enable these manipulative people. You join the delusion and you're playing by their rules. And I will warn you, you will often find when you put your foot down and say, that's not true. Here's the facts. When you do that, that's like kryptonite to them. So there will be pushback. They may run from you. They may come back. They may not. But it is everyone's individual responsibility to get yourself to a place emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, intellectually, where you don't have question marks behind what you know to be true and real. And what is true and real, when you drop someone off at 8 a.m., your minor child, when you drop them off to their father, whether he has a girlfriend or not, whether he's having a pool party or not, whatever he's doing, the very realistic expectation, the appropriate expectation, when I come to get my child, he will be safe and alive. And no matter how hot your new girlfriend is, you can remember you have a child out in the backyard. And no matter what you say, no matter what you say, I'm going to call it what it is. You're gaslighting. This one is on you. Thank God our child is alive. So you guys, I'm not I'm not inviting you to do something, to climb Mount Kilimanjaro or anything like that. I'm asking everyone to be rooted and grounded in the realities of what you know. If you feel that you are susceptible, if you are enabling someone, you have a decision to make. You have a decision to make. Am I going to play the game, thereby abusing myself in the process? Or am I going to get on the righteous path of living a lifted, clear life? Am I going to get out of the delusional state? That's what these people do. And you enabling this is what enables them to continue. There's multiple examples going on around us in this world, in our day-to-day life, where you look, how does this person, how are they doing it? How are they getting away with it? They're enabled. They're enabled. A couple years ago, I was working with a lovely woman, very generous with her children, had 3 of them, a lovely mom, but inadvertently she had created 3 very selfish children she had enabled them, beautiful car. Her daughter totaled it. And within 5 minutes, her not paying attention, being reckless driving, that was her mom's fault. Mom, mom, you asked me to leave early. You asked me to leave the party early. I was distracted. I was stressed. I was worried. Am I going to be in trouble when I come home? That's your fault. And here mom is in a nervous wreck, in a basket case. You guys, I understand. Please get your get all of this emotion out of it, and this is how it's always been. Throw that out and put on your thinking cap and retrain yourself. You know in your heart and soul when someone is full of it. I love the kind souls of the world. I love the sweet souls. Kind and sweet is different than naive and enabling. And hopefully you're not kind, sweet, naive, and enabling, because you have some work to do. And you really have to be honest with yourself about it, because unfortunately we live in a world, it's been an Achilles heel for me, but it's an Achilles heel that um I accept and I deal with, because you just have people out here, they will get over and they will do what they can to whom they can do it to. I'm finding more and more it is the rare breed of individual who assumes responsibility and does not use people as crutches or this and I'm talking about full responsibility. It is a level of personal development and self-awareness that my sincere prayer is everyone turn towards this work, but they won't. They won't. I've seen manipulative people, big time child support case. I got involved with this litigation on the consulting side of it. This man owed, oh Jesus, hundreds of thousands in the rears, and got in court, got up in front of everyone. I these were my struggles. The laws need to be adjusted. This was whoa. Hold on. You went overseas to hide. You were hiding for over 20 years. And according to the pictures, having a really nice time, a really nice life. There weren't a couple dollars you could come up with, and now you're talking about it's not your fault and laws changed. This is what I'm talking about. They structure reality very differently. It's never their fault. Even when there's full on exposure, even if they're like caught, and they may begrudgingly say, okay, yeah, it was me, whatever the case may be, but they do it with a begrudging heart. So even still, it's lip service. They don't take ownership in their hearts. If you turn over your common sense, the keys of your life to such an individual, you guys, all bets are off. All bets are off. This channel is about cultivating and celebrating wisdom and walking upright and having good, healthy lives from the inside and out. And this is an issue with these manipulators and gaslighting. I had to come at you. I had to keep it real. I hope this video and my message has made a difference for you. If you are enjoying and loving what I'm putting out, please do subscribe and share the news of the channel with your friends, and I'll be back with you real soon. Thank you.